believe that's our ring.
Doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, so far, all of Lum's efforts to work on Abner's sympathy and thus get back into the store have failed. Abner clings to the paper which Lum signed as a joke, giving Abner sole ownership of the store and bakery, and he's determined not to give it up until Lum has learned his lesson. As we look in on the little community today, we find Grandpappy Spears helping Abner in the Jot 'em Down store. Listen.
Contains approx 1 pound and 3 old sun-ripened tomatoes packed in natural juices.
Grandpap.
Ready for serving. May be used in soups.
Grandpap, please stop reading the labels on them cans. All I ask you to do is just help me stack this stuff up in the shelves.
Awful interesting reading, though, Abner.
Well, we never will get no work done that way.
Made from the pure juice of fresh, full apples, diluted with water.
Grandpap, now stop reading and get to work there.
Well, now, Abner ought to learn all I can about the merchandise if I'm going to help you around the store here.
Well, I don't think I'm going to hire you after all, Grandpap. Doggies, you're worse than no help at all. I wish old Lum was back in the store.
Well, why don't you get him back then? You've carried this thing far enough, ain't you? He's learned his lesson by now, I reckon.
No, sir, he ain't getting back in here yet. Not after that last trick he tried to pull, making out like he's going to the orphan's home, calling himself Little Orphan Lum.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
Well, I wouldn't have cared about that so much, but the very idea's getting Cedric to call up here and say he was an orphan's home calling for Lum. Doggies, that's just going too far.
Well, that's right there. Shows how anxious old Lum is to get himself back into partnerships with you.
Well, I don't believe it. No, sir. Not me.
Has Lum been in today?
No, I ain't saw him all day. Don't know where he's at.
Well, likely he's out somewhere still trying to sell them pencils.
Oh, he's actually trying to sell pencils. Fact is, I don't believe he wants nobody to buy them from him. That way, why, he thinks I'll feel more sorrowful for him.
Yeah, I don't know, Abner. He might be getting to where he's needing the money.
Ah.
Luke Spears said he come in the restaurant there last night and had an awful slim meal. Tried to make out like he weren't hungry, Luke said. And you know, Lum, he's always hungry.
Yeah. Well, now, of course, if he's actually hungry, but wait a minute.
What's the matter?
There he comes. I don't want him to know we're talking about him.
Well, he couldn't have heard us, Abner.
Well, I know, but just act like we weren't even thinking about him.
Oh, yeah, all right. Let's see, what'll I be thinking about? What are you going to be thinking?
I don't know.
How about Groundhog's Day? That's always a good winter topic to be thinking about.
Find out. Here he comes, Grandpa. Well, howdy, Lum.
Hey, hello, Lum. Proud to see you.
Come on in.
Yeah, gentlemen. Mr. Peabody, Edwards is my name.
Huh?
L. Edwards is the full name.
Well, Lum, I know your name. I ought to after all these years.
Mr. Peabody, I'd like to have a few moments of your valuable time.
What are you reading that for?
I am representing the Daniel W. Frisbee Publishing Company. Well, I ain't learned it by heart yet.
Oh.
Here is my card.
Where? I don't see no card.
Well, I ain't had time to get 'em printed yet. That's just practicing. I got a button to wear, though. Look here. See it?
Well, Special Agent Frisbee Publishing Company.
Yeah, let me see it, Abner.
Oh, what does that mean, Lum?
That means I'm a special agent, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, that's nice, Lum. It's a big company, too. Chances for advancement and all that.
Yes, huh?
Just started working for 'em this morning, and I'm cleaning up already.
Well, good for you, Lum.
Yeah, I got all of Polk County, every bit of it.
You mean you own the whole county? No, you don't.
No, I don't exactly own it, but that's my exclusive territory.
Oh.
Nobody else but me can sell our magazine in Polk County.
Magazine? Oh.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, nothing, I don't reckon. Nothing.
Well, listen here, Abner.
selling magazines is a good business. Now, there's lots of fellers who's made big fortunes doing that.
They have, huh?
Sure. Besides, I've always wanted to go to college.
Go to college?
Yeah, I can either work towards a free scholarship in some college or get a pony.
Pony?
Yeah, don't reckon I'd be much interested in a pony, though.
Why, of course not. Bright as you. You couldn't ride no Shetland pony as big as you are, Lum.
I bet you I could stay on him.
Well, you might stay on him. You wouldn't have no trouble. Your feet would drag the ground. You'd have to tie your feet to the saddle horn.
I can put on roller skates, can't I?
Yeah, could, I reckon. Be something new, riding horseback and roller skating at the same time. Maybe you could get one of them little wicker carts, Mom. Have they got them?
No, I'm just get back.
I don't care.
Might be all right. If you ain't never tried it, don't knock it.
No.
Besides, I think you have to sell more magazines to get the pony anyway.
You do, huh? How many have you sold so far, Lum?
Oh, I don't know. Been selling so fast, I ain't kept track.
Well, about how many?
Oh, I don't know, Abner. I'll have to check up when I go home tonight.
Who you been selling to?
Oh, people. Different people.
Who?
Well, I can't recollect all their names, grannies. I ain't no memories expert.
Well, just name one.
All right. Cedric Weehunt. Now.
Did Cedric buy one?
Well, he ain't actual bought it yet. He's going to talk it over with his papa first. I think he'll take one, though.
Lum.
Yeah.
Be honest now. You ain't sold a single magazine, have you?
Abner, this just ain't a reading town, I reckon. There ain't nobody that's interested in the Midwest Farm and Needlework Weekly.
Farm and Needlework? Well, no wonder you ain't never sold one. I ain't never heard of that magazine.
Neither's anybody else. They ain't even heard of it over Cherry Hill. That is, except one feller over there.
Cherry Hill, was you clean over there?
Yeah, I hitchhiked over there this morning. Run smack into a feller that was selling the Farm and Needlework Weekly, too. And he claimed Polk County was his exclusive territory.
Well, I thought you said it was yours.
Well, it was a mix-up of some kind, I don't know. But the thing that made me sort of get mad was the fact that he just paid $10 for Polk County. It cost me $15.
15? Doggies, you never paid nobody for this, did you?
Here's my last $15, too, if you want to know.
Well, you ought to get that back, Lum. Who'd you pay it to?
I don't know. I never did get his name. Mr. Frisbee, though, I reckon. He come in the barber shop right early this morning. Said he was looking for a feller that wanted to make $1,000 a week, and I don't know. I guess I just sort of raised my hand, and before I noted, he had this special agent button on my coat and that $15 out of my pocketbook.
Well, I do know.
I still don't see how he done it.
Huh.
And I wish I was as good a salesman as him.
What, did you give you any of them Farm and Needlework magazines to sell?
Yeah, he gave me a copy of it to show around as a sort of a sample. It's a good enough little magazine. Here, I'll show it to you.
Yeah. Well,
See there? Interesting.
sort of thin, ain't it?
Well, covers the subject. Call it a weekly. It's a little weak, all right. See, here's an article on farming. That's for the fellers to read, and here's an article on needlework for the women folks.
Well?
And an ad.
Ad? Just one in there?
It's on the back here.
Oh.
Says, don't be a slave. Be your own boss and earn big money.
Well.
And that's what I ought to be, is my own boss. And earn big money. I like that, too.
Well, it's a cinch you won't do it selling that Farm and Needlework Weekly, Lum.
I know that. No, I'm the type of fella that's got to be his own boss. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a big office and a lot of secretaries working for me. Have telephones and big charts on the wall, maps and all such as that.
Well, does it tell in that ad there how you can get to be your own boss?
And maybe it does. Let's see here.
Yeah, read it there. See?
Unlimited opportunity to ambitious young man. Pave your own way to success.
Success, huh?
Don't just dream about big homes, luxurious cars, swimming pools. Here is your chance to build up your own business and make those dreams come true.
Well?
And Abner, I believe I've hit on something here.
Yeah, that sounds awful good.
Ernest Hutchinson of Dubuque, Iowa writes, I have tripled my earnings in 3 short weeks. Charles Brewer of Hastings, Nebraska, right?
Who's Charles Brewer?
I don't know. Some fellow that's taken up this work, I reckon. Says here he's boosted his income 60%.
60%?
That's what it says.
I never heard of Charles Brewer.
That shows you right there what a big thing this is. Here's a feller nobody ever heard of boosting his income 60%.
For the land's sakes.
Think what a feller that's knowed as good as I am can do.
Why, sure.
I ain't going to look no further. This is a business for me right here.
well, how do you get into it, Law? Maybe I'll go in it with you. Does it tell there?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, here it is. For complete details, fill out the coupon below, and we will send out a representative to set you up in business as a... Oh.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Well, finish it.
I ain't gonna do it.
Set you up in business as a what?
A exclusive special agent to sell the Midwest Farm and Needlework Weekly.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum's activities as a salesman for the Farm and Needlework Weekly magazine have thus far resulted in a grand total of no sales. He's pretty discouraged, and his one ambition now is to get back his share of the store and bakery, which he unintentionally signed over to Abner several days ago. As we look in on the little community today, Abner is over at the barber shop and has left Cedric to look after the store. Lum is telling Cedric his troubles. Listen.
Well, I just got to find something to do. That's all there are to it. I spent the last $15 I had for the exclusive agent for that magazine, Farm and Needlework Weekly, and I don't believe you could even give that thing away.
No, Mom, I don't like that magazine very well, Mr. Lum. Ain't enough pictures in it.
Well, to be honest, Cedric, there ain't much reading in it neither. Granted, I just got to get back in this store. That's all there are to it. Maybe I can find a loophole in that paper I signed and get back through it somewhere or other.
Loophole? Well, there's a hole back there in the feed room where the cat comes through, but I don't much believe you could make it through there, Mr. Lum.
No, Cedric, I don't mean crawl through a hole. Wait a minute. Granny, there comes the one feller in this town that can help me.
Mom?
I don't know why I never thought of asking Squire Skimp before. If there's anybody that can discover loopholes in contracts, he's him. Don't you let Abner know I was talking to him about this, Cedric.
Oh, no, Mom, I won't.
Don't let on. Well, howdy, Squire. Come on in.
Well, gentlemen.
Hello, Mr. Squire.
Hello, Cedric, my boy. Why, this is quite a surprise seeing you in here, Lum. Has Abner taken you back into the business?
No, he ain't, Squire. I'm still a lone wolf.
Well, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear it, Lum. Cedric, get me a can of smoking tobacco there, please. You know my brand.
Yes, Mom, I'll get it.
All right.
Squire, while you're in here, I'd sort of like to get your advice on something.
Why, of course, Lum, of course. Always glad to help an old friend. You know me.
It's about Abner keeping me out of the store here. I was wondering if you knowed any loopholes I could lawsuit him with and get my share of the store and bakery back.
Well, as I understand it, Lum, you signed a document investing Abner with sole ownership of the business. Is that true?
Yeah, but I just done it for a joke. I never actually meant it.
No, but intention behind the act would carry little or no weight with the courts of law, I'm afraid, Lum. No, it's a fair and legal document, and it binds the parties of the first and second part thereof to the word and deed of the instrument.
Does, huh?
Yes, indeed, yes. Ex post facto corpus delicti.
Come over that again, Squire. Sure, I jumped the
said
track.
ex post facto corpus delicti, Lum.
That's what I feared you said. It's as bad as that, huh?
Oh, yes, yes. No, Lum, I wouldn't take this to court if I were you. I'm afraid it just costs you a lot of time and money, and you'd lose the case. 'Cause I know Abner could produce that document.
Oh, yeah. That's what he'd do, too. Just show us the world. Just sneaking enough to show it in court.
Well, naturally he would, Lum. That's the evidence that his whole case would rest on.
Some fellas is like that. You can't trust them at all. Take unfair advantages of you.
Well, now, what you should have done, Lum, is consult me before you ever got yourself into a
Here's your
deal.
tobacco, Mr. Squire.
Oh, yes, thank you, Cedric.
Anything else you wanted?
No, that's all, I guess. Just put it down on the book, Cedric. Well, I better
Oh,
be
wait,
going.
Mr. Squire, I can't do that.
What's that?
Mr. Abner told me not to put nothing more on the books for you.
Oh, he did. Well, in that case, don't put it on the books then, Cedric. I'll pay for it some other time.
Yes, Mom, that'll be a lot better.
If there's anything else that I can do to help you, Lum, why, just let me know.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Squire.
Not at all. Good day, gentlemen.
Good day.
Granny, did you hear that, Cedric? Ex post facto lacto or something. Looks like that dead blame Abner's got me all right. I don't mind telling you, Cedric, I'm getting desperate. I got to get myself some money summers.
Yes, Mom.
Wait a minute. You wouldn't want to lend me a few dollars, would you, Cedric?
Oh, no, Mom, I don't think I would.
I feared of that. Well, you've got money. I know you got money in the bank.
Yes, Mom, but my papa's got it in his name. He won't let me get to it. Can't touch it.
Oh. You're working here in the store. You get a salary for working here, don't you?
Well, I ain't working after today, though. I'm quitting so's I can drive Dick Huddleston's woman over at Hot Springs. Fixing to visit my uncle over there, too.
Well, you ain't quitting permanent, are you?
Oh, I don't know. Ain't thought that far ahead yet. I kind of think I am, though. Why don't you try to get my job, Mr. Lum?
Oh, no, wait a minute. Granny, maybe you got a good idea there, Cedric. Yeah, I can make a little money to eat on, and in my spare time I can hunt around for that paper I signed. And when I get my hands on it, I ain't just going to tear it up. I'm going to chew it up and swallow the whole dead blame thing. Yes, sir, that's what I... No, won't work.
Mom?
No, I can't ask Abner for no job.
Well, why not?
Well, that's just exactly what that little dried-up varmint wants me to do. Come crawling to him begging him for a job. No, sir, not me. But now, wait a minute. Of course, if he'd come to me and ask me to take it, that'd be different, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Well, of course it would. Granny, that's what I got to do. Get Abner to beg me to take the job. It's a cinch he'd got to get somebody to help him in here.
Yes, Mom, he's got to have some help. Wait a minute. Here comes old Mousey Gray. Reckon what he wants.
Uh-oh, I know what he wants. He's been pestering me all week. He figures that just 'cause I was his fight manager and got him to quit his job over at the mill, that I ought to get him another job.
Well, ain't he going to do no more fighting, Mr. Lum?
No, I told him I'd write to some fighters and promote some fights, but he says all that's through now. He ain't going to do no more fighting. Said Gussie won't let him. Wait a minute, though. Maybe I can use him.
Mom?
Find out. Well, hello there, Mousey, old boy.
Hello, Lum. Cedric.
I'm glad to see you, Mousey. I think maybe I got something lined up for you.
Gee, have you really? Well, I certainly need to get back to work, Lum. You know, things haven't been going very good for me and Gussie since I quit at the mill over there. That mill was just like a mother to me.
Yeah, I know, but you like this better, Mousey. You see this button?
Yes, sir.
It says Special Agent, Frisbee Publishing Company.
Well,
I paid $15 for that. It means I got the exclusive right to sell the Farm and Needlework Weekly in all of Polk County. And I'm going to give it to you.
give it to me? Oh, no, Lum, I couldn't let you do that.
Well, I want to do it, Mousey. Here, we'll pin the button right on your coat there.
Look at that.
There you are. All the profits you get out of the magazine are yours.
Well, gee, I don't know what I can ever do to thank you, Lum.
Well, that's something you can do for me right now, Mousey. Just happen to think of something.
What's that?
Well, Cedric here is quitting his job, and I want to get it. I want to get back in the store here. But I can't come right out and ask for it. So I want you to talk to Abner for me.
You want me to talk to him?
Yeah, you see, if Cedric done it, Abner expected I'd put him up to it. But he'd never in the world expect you.
Well, what shall I tell him?
Hey, Mr. Lum, there comes Mr. Abner.
Oh, my goodness. Well, here, Mousey, you just tell him that you know a feller that he can get that'll do the delivering and get down early in the morning and sweep out and do the baking and wash the windows. Tell him it's a feller that knows the grocery business upside down and backwards.
Yes, sir.
Better hurry, Mr. Lum.
And if he asks about salary, tell him $10 a week. No, wait a minute. Make it $5 a week. I can eat enough to make up the difference.
Yes, sir.
I'll hide over here behind the counter so Abner won't see me. Now, pour it on strong there, Mousey.
Yes, sir.
Boy, this is fun.
I just hope I can remember everything. Let's see now. Sweep out the store and wash the windows and,
Make the delivers.
Yes, make the deliveries.
Wait a minute. Here he comes. You better be quiet. Hello, Mr. Abner.
Well, hello, Cedric. Everything been going all right?
Yes, Mom. Say, Mr. Abner, Mousey here wants to talk to you about something.
Oh, hello, Mousey. Never seen you standing there.
Howdy, Abner.
Lum wanted Mousey to tell you about the job I'm quitting. Ain't that it, Mousey?
Yes, sir.
Go on, Mousey, and ask him.
Well, Abner, would you like to hire a fellow that would make all the deliveries and get down early in the morning and sweep out the store and do the baking and
Wash the windows.
And wash the windows?
Well, doggies, that's just what I am looking for. How much would that cost me, Mousey?
$5 a week.
$5 a week? Hey, doggy, that's a deal. Yes, sir, that is a deal.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Well, I better call Lum and tell him that.
You don't need to, Mousey. I heard every word of it. Good for you, Abner.
Why, Lum Edwards, what are you doing back there?
It don't matter now. What you just did is more important.
Huh?
Granny's, Abner, this is awful thoughty of you. I just don't know how to thank you.
Well, don't thank me. I'm just tickled to death to get somebody for $5 a week.
Well, of course, a man like me ought to get at least $10 a week.
Yeah. Well, you're too late now, though, Lum. I just now hired Mousey.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum's plan to have Mousey talk Abner into hiring Lum as a delivery boy and general handyman didn't turn out quite as he expected. Abner hired Mousey instead, so Lum is still just an ex-partner in the store and bakery and very, very sorry he ever signed over his share of the business to Abner. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner putting up an order of groceries, assisted by Mousey. Listen.
I reckon that's enough stuff for him, Mousey.
Are you selling all this stuff to Lum on credit?
Why, no, I ain't charging him nothing for it. I'm just going to slip over to his place while he ain't there and leave the stuff, and he won't know where it come from.
Just going to give it to him?
Well, it's half his anyway. He still owns a half interest in the store here.
I thought he signed a piece of paper giving you his half interest.
Well, he did, but I ain't going to hold him to that. I just been making out like I was sort of doing that just to bring him to his senses.
Yes, sir.
I'll let him back in a day or two. No, I couldn't run this store by myself. Lum's always looked after the buying and all such of that. He's a good businessman if he'd just tend to the store instead of going into every other business that comes along.
Well, if he comes back in the store, why, you won't need me anymore, will you?
Well, we'll work out something. Oh, well, here, I expect I better get these groceries on over while he's downtown.
Yes, sir.
He'd never take 'em if he knowed where they came from. I sure got him worried. Just hope he don't worry himself into a nervous breakdown over it. He looked awful bad in here yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's our ring. Go ahead and answer it, Mousey. And if it's somebody wanting some groceries, why, get a pencil and take down the order.
Yes, sir, I'll look after it. Hello, this is the Jot 'em Down Store and Bakery. Clerk Gray speaking. Oh, hello, Gussie. Yes, I got you an electric iron, Gussie, but I lost it. Oh, it's here in the store someplace. I hid it, and I can't think where I put it now. Well, I'll find it before I come home.
Oh, excuse me.
All right. What? No, but I don't need a muffler while I'm inside, Gussie. All right, I'll put it on then. All right. Goodbye, Gussie. Now, hello, Lum.
Whereabouts is Abner?
Why, he's out on a delivery.
Well, good. I wanted to talk to you anyway, Mousey. I think you sort of got mixed up about something. I told you to tell Abner where he could get somebody to work here in the store for $5 a week. I meant me, not you.
Yes, sir, I know that, Lum, and I tried to explain that to Abner, but he just won't listen. Says he'll hire whoever he wants to.
You did, huh?
Yes, sir.
What's the matter with him, anyway? Well, you don't have to work here, Mousey, if you don't want to. You can quit, you know.
Oh, I couldn't do that now, Lum. Gussie's so proud of me now because I'm working in the store. She's making me some black sleeve guards and everything. And besides, I just bought her an electric iron this morning, and I can't quit till I get that paid for.
Well, what about that job I give you representing a Frisbee publishing company and selling the Farm and Needlework Weekly?
Well, I'll just let you have that back, I guess, Lum.
Never mind. I don't want it back. Granny, I'm going to be honest with you, Mousey. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm so used to being here in the store, I get downright homesick for it.
Well, it's nice work, all right. Gussie's awful proud of me, I know.
I can't understand what's come over that Abner. He used to be one of the nicest fellows I ever knowed. I give up half my interest in the store, but I never had no ideas he'd keep it. Here we was partners and the best of friends for years, and then all of a sudden he's changed to where I don't feel like I even know him no more. Appears to hate and despise me.
Oh, he doesn't hate you, Lum. As a matter of fact, I think he's kind of worried about you, I think.
Worried?
Yes, sir. He said a while ago that he hoped you didn't get a nervous breakdown over this.
Nervous breakdown?
Yes, sir.
Did he actually say that, sure enough?
Yes, sir.
Grannies, that's it. That's what they've got to have right there, a nervous breakdown. I can almost feel it coming on right now.
Can you really, Lum? Would you like for me to get you some water?
No. I think I can hold it till Abner gets back. How soon are you expecting him back?
Well, he never said how long he'd be gone.
Well, quick as we see him coming, I'll fall down on the floor and sort of moan and stuff, and you rush over and say, poor Lum, I know this is going to happen to him. I could tell it by the way he looked when he come in here.
Yes, sir.
And then when Abner says, oh, my goodness, what is it? You say, oh, it's a nervous breakdown or something like that. Now run through that and see if you got it.
Well, I think that's the store's ring. Maybe I'd better answer the phone.
Yeah, well, hurry up.
Hello, Jot 'em Down Store and Bakery. Clerk Gray speaking. Oh, hello, Gussie. Yes. Yes, I do. Honest, I do, Gussie. No, I haven't had time to look for it yet, but I'll find it for you. Why, no, I took 'em off when I came in the store. But, Gussie, it isn't even raining. All right, I'll put 'em on. Of course I do. Goodbye, Gussie.
All right, now see if you recollect what I told you, Mousey.
Gussie's a wonderful little woman, Lum. Takes awful good care of me.
What are you looking for?
Oh, I was just looking for my overshoes.
Well, forget your overshoes, Mousey. This is more important. Now, what do you say when Abner gets here and I fall on the floor?
I say, poor Lum, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, put more feeling in it. You feel sorrowful for me.
Oh my goodness, oh, uh-oh. Oh, it's Mr. Spears. I thought for a minute it was Abner.
Yeah, that's Grandpap. Come in, Grandpap.
Morning, Mr. Spears.
Well, howdy. Hey, whereabouts is Abner? He's out making a deliver.
He should be back before long. Can I do something for you, Mr. Spears?
No, I reckon not. I just want to see him, but I can't wait. Just tell him I dropped in to let him know I won't be able to do no reading in the library today. Broke my glasses again.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Spears.
Funny thing how I broke my glasses. Look, Grandpap, if you're in a hurry, don't let us keep you. No, I won't, Lum, thank you.
There I was, had my glasses in my pocket, and I went out after an armful of wood, and who did I see but old Charlie Sheldon? And you better run along, Grandpap. You recollect old Charlie, don't you, Mousey?
No, sir, I don't believe I do, Mr. Spears.
Oh, sure you do. Win first place in the potato race at the Old Settlers' Picnic back in 1912, I believe it was.
Potato race?
What'd you say, Mousey?
I say he won first place in the potato race?
Well, now that you mention it, I believe you're right. I believe he did, yeah. How long have you and Charlie knowed one another, Mousey?
Well, I don't know him at all, Mr. Spears.
Grandpap, if you're in such a hurry, why don't you get going? Oh, yeah, that's right. I am in a hurry, ain't I? Well, I'm sorry to have to go, Mousey. We'll chat about old Charlie some other time.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you later, fellers. So long.
Goodbye, Mr. Spears.
So long. Granny, I thought he never would leave. I feared Abner's going to pop in here any minute.
Well, it's a shame he had to leave in such a hurry. He never did finish telling how he broke his glasses.
Well, I'm just glad he never. Had to get him out of here. He'd have ruined my whole nervous breakdown.
Yes, sir.
Here now, we'd better be practicing. Did you ever see anybody have a breakdown, Mousey?
No, sir, I don't believe I ever have, Lum.
Well, me neither. But I figure they must sort of break down and fall. That's more likely where they get the name for it.
Yes, sir.
Quick as Abner comes in the door there, I'll sort of spin and fall right on my back and start moaning and groaning, and you say that about poor Lum's had a nervous breakdown. So's he'll know for sure what disease I've got.
Yes, sir. Well, don't you think we ought to put some padding on the floor there, Lum, so you won't hurt yourself?
Well, Granny, that's right, ain't it?
That's awful hard floor, it
Yeah.
looks like.
Wait a minute. I can sort of fall over that direction there and land on them horse blankets. Let my head hit right in the middle of them.
Yes, sir.
That way I'll have a pillar. No telling how long I'll have to lay there.
Well, I expect you better be getting ready to fall then, Lum.
Huh?
There's Abner coming up on the porch there.
Oh, my goodness. Well, why didn't you tell me? Well, look, I'll wait till he gets about halfway back in the store so's he'll be sure and see me. This is going to be a gooder knowing him.
Yeah, there he is, Lum.
Yeah. Here I go.
Any business while I was gone? Wait a minute. What's going on here?
Poor Lum. Poor Lum. He looked awful bad when he came in.
Well, he don't look good right now, neither. What's the matter with him? You ain't knocked him out again, have you, Mousey?
No, sir, it's a nervous breakdown.
Oh, my goodness, a nervous breakdown. Oh, I was afraid this had happened to him. I knowed it. Lum, speak to me. It's all my fault, Lum. I ought not to have treated you the way I did. I ought not to have did it. I doggies, he's out cold, Mousey.
Well, he must be.
Well, here, no wonder he's unconscious. Look what he hit his head on.
Oh, my goodness, let me get to the telephone.
Why, sure, call up Doc Miller. Tell him to get over here right away, Mousey. Doggies, old Lum's got a knot on his head here big as a hen egg. What was this doing under them blankets, anyway?
Hello? This is Mousey. I've got some news for you, Gussie. Yeah, I just found your electric iron.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, even Lum's trump card, a pretended nervous breakdown, failed to get him back into the store and bakery. So he's just about at the end of his list of plans to arouse Abner's sympathy. Abner, on the other hand, is having quite a struggle running the store alone, and is on the verge of dropping his stern pose and taking Lum back. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store. Mousey is loading the delivery truck, and Grandpappy Spears is sitting at the library table reading. Listen.
Hey, Abner, come over here and listen to this a minute. See how I'm getting along. Lee bon pier, lay bony mere, un bon garcon, uni giun pili.
Grandpap, I ain't got time to listen to you learn the French language.
Owie, monsieur. Owie, mademoiselle.
I don't know what you want to learn it for anyway, wasting your time on that.
Well, it's good to know other languages, Abner. Never can tell when you might run up against a Frenchman, and he might have something important to tell me, and I don't want to miss out on it. Bonjour. Tres bien.
Well, study it to yourself, Grandpap. I got too much work to do around here to listen to you. Can't hardly keep up with this store anyway since Lum ain't here.
I thought you hired Mousey Gray to help you. Can't he do the work?
Be quiet, not so loud. I don't want Mousey to hear us. Just to be honest, though, he's worse and no help at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to tell him everything to do, and then I have to show him how to do it, and finally wind up doing it myself.
Well, fire him then. Fire him.
No, I can't do that. Gus is so proud of him since he got to be a grocery clerk, she don't know what to do.
Yeah.
She thinks it's a big advancement over his night watching job at the mill.
She does.
Oh, yeah. I ain't got the heart to let him go. Doggies, I never realized how important old Lum was around here. Every day I keep running up against things that I ain't got the least idea what to do about.
No.
Wait a minute. Mousey! Mousey! Come in here and answer the phone. Yes, sir?
You even have to tell him to answer the phone, huh?
Yeah, I'd answer it myself, but ain't no use. All the calls is for him.
Yeah.
Hello? Jot'em Down Store and Bakery, Clerk Gray speaking. Oh, hello, Gussie.
No, I think I understand now.
Well, I can't right now, Gussie. I'm all ready to make the deliveries. Well, Lambkin, I'm not tired now.
Lambkin?
Well, yeah, but Lambkin, Well, all right, Gussie. All right. Goodbye. Abner. What is it, Mousey? I guess I've got to lay down and rest for about 10 minutes.
Sassy phrase.
Rest? Why, you can't do that now, Mousey. Now, you get out there and make the deliveries. You can rest afterwards. Well, Gussie won't like it. Well, I can't help that, Mousey. We got a store to run here. Now, go on out there on the truck now and get the groceries delivered. Well, all right, if you insist. I'll go. Forgive me, Gussie. It isn't my fault. I'm just a slave of the industrial world.
For goodness sakes, it's sassy phrase. Sassy phrase.
That goes on all the time. That Gussie calls him up every 5 minutes, looks like. Tells him to put on his muffler and put on his overshoes and I don't know what all.
I'd put a stop to it.
Well, doggies, I wouldn't be having all these troubles if Lum was back in here with me.
Well, why don't you get him back then?
Well, that's what I want to do the worst way, Grandpap. Doggies, I never missed anybody in my life like I've been missing him lately. Facts is, I took this paper out of its hiding place a while ago and started to tear the thing up.
What paper's that?
Why, the one that Lum signed giving me half of the store and bakery.
Well, why don't you go ahead and tear it up then? What's keeping you from it?
Well, if I done that, Grandpap, and told him I needed him back in the store, why, then he'd think he'd win the argument.
Yeah.
And then all this lesson I've been trying to learn him just be plumb wasted.
Oh, I think he's learned his lesson good enough, Abner.
Well, yeah, but if he finds out that I can't actually get along without him, why, then he'll get himself to where he thinks he's awful important. And then he'll think he's too good for the store and get off on some of them other big ideas of his'n.
Yeah.
We'll be right back where we started.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Abner.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't see how you're ever going to get back together this way.
Well, all I want Lum to do is just come in here and tell me that he wants to get back in the store. If he'd do that, I'd tear up this paper in a minute. But he ain't never once said that. He just keeps trying to work on my sympathy with them tricks of his'n. Saying he's going to the orphans' home.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
Having a nervous breakdown, all such as that.
Yeah, let me see that paper once. I never did get to read it.
Yeah, well, here it is. Ain't much to read on it, though.
Yeah, I wish it's written French so's I could practice.
I'm glad it ain't. I couldn't read it myself.
To who it may concern, I, Lum Edwards, partner of the first party, do hereby turn over to Abner Peabody all my interest in the Jot'em Down Store and Pine Ridge Bakery.
making him sole owner. Signed, Lum Edder.
Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Wait a minute. Hide that paper. Get out of here. Hide it quick. There's Lum coming up out there.
Oh.
Though I don't want him to get a hold of it yet.
Where'll I hide it?
Oh, anywhere. I don't care. Just so it's out of sight while he's in there. Hurry up
Yeah,
now.
I'll find a place somewhere.
Mind out. Hurry. Here he comes. Well, howdy, Lum. Come on in.
Howdy do, Mr. Peabody. Howdy, Grandpap. Howdy, Lum.
What can I do for you today, Lum?
Not a thing, Mr. Peabody. I just want to tell you, gentlemen, that you're trespassing.
Trespassing?
Yes, sir. You may not know it, but both of you are in my half of the library.
What are you talking about?
Abner, if you recollect that paper I signed, just give you my half of the store and bakery.
Huh?
It never said nothing about the library.
Oh.
So beginning today, I'm going to take over here. I'm going to build up a big library business in my half here.
Well, Lum, you can't make no money in a library. Says free public library right there on that sign.
Well, I just heard about a new kind, though. It's called a rental library.
Rental?
Rent out the books instead of just giving them out free. I'm going to charge some high rents, too.
Well, nobody ain't going to rent books from your half when they can get them over there in my half for nothing.
I'll advertise my books. Make everybody want mine. I'll run your half of the library clean out of business.
Yeah, do whatever you want to. I don't care. Don't make no money out of the library no way. Besides, I ain't got time to argue with you. I got too much work to do. Grandpap, sort of keep an eye on the store. I got to pile up some feed back here.
Yeah, all right, Abner. Let's see now. Where would you say was the middle of them shelves of books, Grandpap? Lum, why don't you cut out this pish-posh? Pish-posh? Yeah, you know you can't make enough money out of this library thing. Yeah, I know it, Grandpap. I don't know. But at least I can be in the store here. I don't know how to explain it, but when I ain't in here, I feel sort of lost. A ship without a rudder. Well, of course you feel that way. Now, why don't you just tell Abner you want to get back in the store? Well, Grandpap, there ain't no one thing I'd rather do, believe me. During these last few days, I've been missing being with Abner something awful. Never realized before just how much he meant to me. Well, then why don't you tell him that? Tell him you learnt your lesson and you won't back in. He'll take you in, I know he will. Well, I don't know. If I done that, he'd think he'd win an argument with me, and then there wouldn't be no living with him. That's all I want to know. Hey, Abner, come in here, Abner.
Huh?
What are you going to call him for? Don't you tell him nothing I said.
What do you want, Grandpap?
Come over here, Abner.
Huh? What is it?
I want you two fellers to look at one another.
Now, wait a minute. What's all this about?
Now, you two stubborn old idiots, listen to me. Lum here just said he wants to get back in the store. And, Abner, you said you wanted him back, didn't you?
Well...
Of course you did. So stop all this foolishness and join up again. Go ahead and shake hands on it. Go on. Don't just stand there. Shake hands.
All right.
That's it. Granny, I don't know what to say, hardly, Abner.
Well, I reckon I don't neither, Lum, hardly.
I guess we have been acting sort of silly. Just a couple of old idiots, like Grandpap said.
Yeah.
And it's all my fault, too.
Oh, no, it weren't, Lum.
Yes, it was. I never ought to have signed that paper in the first place, even as a joke.
Well, I never ought to have kept it, neither.
No, you had a perfect right to keep it, Abner, and I don't blame you.
Well, I just done it for your own good, Lum. Just to learn you a little lesson, that's all.
Learn me a lesson.
Yeah, well, sort of make you appreciate the store and not get off on big ideas that might now ruin us every time you get one.
What do you mean, ruin us? I've had some pretty good ideas in my day. Fact is, I'm the only one around here that ever did get a idea. If I had a partner that'd cooperate with me, we might get summers as my ideas.
Now, Lum, you know dad blame well that we just get in trouble over 'em is all we ever do. They just cost us money and get us lawsuit and everything else. If you'd ever listen to me...
Listen to you? That would ruin us. I don't need you to tell me how to run this store.
Well, now, this ain't your store to run. Don't forget, I ain't give it back to you yet. I still got that paper.
All right, keep the paper. See if I care. I don't need you or the store or nothing else to get along. I'll make out.
Well, wait a minute now. What are you doing there?
I'm taking some of my books out of my library.
Huh?
I'll start a bookstore or something. I don't know. Granny's, I'll show you.
Well, start it a long ways away from here, then.
Don't you worry. I can't get far enough away from this place to suit me.
Yeah.
Abner, call him back. Don't let him leave this away. Call him back and make up.
No, sir. Not with him I won't make up. All right, doggies, get out that paper, Grandpap. I'm going to lock that thing up summers now, and I ain't never going to give it back to him.
That's the way you feel, I suppose.
Yes, sir, that's the way I feel, I'll tell you that.
Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Oh, my goodness. You know where I hid that paper?
Where?
In one of them books I'm just taking out of here. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the old fellows almost patched up their differences, but an argument split them wide apart again. Lum stomped out of the store carrying an armload of books out of what he claims is his half of the library. And much to Abner's dismay, one of those books was the hiding place for the paper which Lum signed last week giving Abner ownership of the store and bakery. Lum, of course, didn't realize the paper was in there. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum sitting in his half of the library. Abner is running the Jot 'em Down store, and Grandpappy Spears has just entered. Listen.
Yeah, well, howdy.
Oh, howdy, Grandpap. Come on in.
Yeah, don't mind if I do. Well, howdy, Lum. I never seen you sitting there. Proud to see you back in the store.
I ain't back in the store, Grandpap. I'm in the Eddard's Rent-Out Books library. I went in partnerships with myself. That way I got a partner I can trust.
You better step over here and get some groceries or something, Grandpap. Don't pay for a feller to be seen in the wrong kind of company, you know.
Just a minute, fellers. I thought this fuss and squabble was all done for. I figured that when Lum taking them books home the other day...
Grandpap.
Huh?
Come on back here in the feed room. I want to show you something.
What do you want to show me?
Oh, something important. You want to see it, I know.
Well, if it's that important, all right.
Well, come on in.
Better keep your hand on your pocketbook, Grandpap. A lot of pickpockets around these days.
Don't pay no attention to him, Grandpap.
You got any money left when you get through there, Grandpap? I got a good book in my library I'd like to rent you called The Thief of Baghdad. Awful interesting. Tells what happened to a feller that steals stuff.
Yeah, it sounds interesting, Lum.
Grandpap, come on back here. You're going with me to the feed room so that I can show you something I said.
Yeah, that's right.
I might even write a sequel to The Thief of Baghdad for you, Grandpap. I'm going to call it The Thief of Pine Ridge.
Don't listen to him, Grandpap. He's been making them smart remarks all morning. Come on. Now get back clean here where he can't hear you.
Well, what is it you want to show me, Abner?
What? Don't talk so loud. I ain't got nothing to show you.
Ain't got nothing to show me. You said you did.
I know it. I had to do something to keep you from talking about them books that Lum taking home with him. You might now ruined everything.
Well, he was already ruined, weren't he?
Why, no.
That paper he signed giving you all the store and bakery was hidden in one of them books.
Yeah, but he ain't found it out yet. He don't know he's got it.
Oh, you don't?
Why, of course not. That's why I wanted to hush you up about it.
Well, I do know. Well, I sure figured he'd found that paper by this time and tore it up and got himself back in the store.
Oh, no, he ain't back in yet. Only reason he's sitting around over here, I think, is trying to get a chance to sort that desk over there. He thinks I got it hid there. He don't know he's got it.
Well, I'll be dogged. That's sure good or known Lum, ain't it? Here he is hunting around here for something he's got over there at his own place and don't know it.
Yeah. Don't you let him know nothing about it, though, now.
Oh, no, I won't breathe a word of it.
Wait a minute. Who's that coming in the store? Huh?
Oh, that's Squire Skimp, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. Doggies. Well, I don't want to wait on him. I know that. He just wants to get some groceries on a credit, and he's already run up such a big bill, I know he can't never pay it.
I wouldn't sell him nothing for cash, me.
Let's just stay back here in the feed room when he goes out. I won't wait on him.
Yeah, checkerboard ain't back here, is it?
Doggies, wait a minute. I believe it is short or that's a good idea, Grandpap. You and me ain't had a good checker game, and I don't know how long.
Well, howdy, Long.
Yeah, howdy, Squire. Welcome to the Editor's Rent Books Out Library.
Well, that's a new title, isn't it, Lum? I thought this was the Pine Ridge Free Public Library.
Well, that half over there is. My half here is a new rent library.
Well,
Got some awful interesting books in here, too, Squire. Would you be interested in renting a few?
no, I don't believe I would, Lum, no.
I got Elsie Dinsmore Makes the Grade, and Brave and Bold, and Gilbert the Boy Trapper. Grannies, I'm glad that book's in my half the library. Have you read Gilbert the Boy Trapper, Squire?
No, I don't seem to have time to keep up on the new books, Lum. I just dropped in to pick up a few groceries. Whereabouts is Abner?
Now, if you mean Mr. Peabody, he's in the feed room with Grandpap. More than likely trying to swindle Grandpap out of something.
Oh, no, not Abner, Lum. He isn't smart enough to swindle. He's much too honest a person, Lum. Much too honest, yeah.
But look what he done to me. Took the store and bakery right away from me.
Well, now, Lum, Abner didn't do that to you. You did that to yourself.
Done it to myself.
Why, yes, you signed that paper of your own free will and volition. Nolo contendere caveat emptor.
Huh?
Those are legal terms, Lum. It means that, nolo contendere caveat emptor.
Oh, yeah, well, natural. I never heard you at first. But I still say he didn't need to keep the paper. I just read it out in a joking way. He knows it.
Yes, I know that, Lum.
And I can tell by the way he guards that thing, he aims to keep it the rest of his life.
Well, you can't blame him for guarding it, Lum. That's the only piece of evidence that he's got. Without that paper, he has absolutely no legal or moral claim to your half of the business.
Yeah, but he's got it. So there ain't nothing I can do.
Well, you know, Lum, if I were you, can Abner hear us?
Oh, no, he's back there with Grandpap. He can't hear.
Oh, good. If I were you, Lum, I would just get hold of that little piece of paper and destroy it. That's what I'd do.
Well, what do you think I'm hanging around the store here for? But the little varmint guards it like it was a barrel of gold.
He does, Lum.
Every time he steps out of the store, he runs right back in to see if I'm looking for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, there might be other ways, old Lum. You know the old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. Have you any idea where Abner has hidden the paper?
Well, I ain't sure, but I reckon it's in that drawer over there where he keeps all the bills and stuff.
Over there in the desk, huh?
Yeah. I know that's where he puts everything else, so it must be there.
Mm-hmm.
But he's always there, too. Never takes his eye over that desk.
Well, around, say, 12 o'clock at night, Lum, I don't imagine he's there, is he?
Oh, no, of course not. He's home in bed at that time. Wait a minute. Oh, you mean I ought to come down here then and break in?
Well, you don't exactly have to break in, Lum. You still have your key to the store, don't you?
Yeah, that's right, ain't it? Yeah, I got a key over at the place.
Why, I certainly have.
But I don't know, Squire. That seems sort of unhonest, coming down at night that way.
Well, Lum, you said yourself that half of this store and bakery rightfully belongs to you. So you would only be taking what's already yours.
Yeah, I reckon so.
And you know and I know, Lum, that you and Abner belong together. You've been partners for a long time, and that's the way you should continue, as partners. But here's this one little piece of paper keeping you apart, breaking up a beautiful friendship. Lum, it's your duty to destroy that piece of paper.
Grannies, you're right, Squire. Yeah, I never looked at it just that way before. I'll do it. Grannies, I'll do it tonight, at midnight.
Well,
midnight.
That's a time, Lum, good for you.
Fact is, I think I'll go home right now and make sure I got my key.
Yes.
Abner most always done the locking and unlocking, so I got in the habit of leaving my key at home. I'll see you later, Squire, and I don't know how to ever thank you for what you've just did for me.
Oh, tut, Lum, tut. Always glad to help an old friend.
Well, thanks again, Squire. So long.
Yeah, so long, Lum. Abner?
Abner can't come right now, Squire. It's his mood. He's busy.
Well, I'm a busy man myself, Grandpap, and I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, all right. He'll be right out.
Yeah, what is it you want, Squire?
Well, I just want to order a little list of groceries, Abner. Just a few dollars worth.
A few dollars worth? On a credit, I reckon.
Well, yes. Now that you mention it, guess I will have to ask you to put them on the books, Abner. seems for some reason or other I must have come away without my wallet this morning.
Yeah, it seems you always come away without that. Squire, I'm sorry, but I can't let you have no groceries.
What? What's that?
No, sir, I just ain't going to do it. Until you pay up what you already owe, Squire, why, you can just buy your groceries some other place.
That's the time, Abner. That's the time.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear you talk like that, Abner. Yes, it grieves me. And I know that this information would have been very valuable to you, too.
Information? What information?
Well, it's, something that vitally affects you in the store. Something that will change things around here a great deal unless you find out about it in time.
Change what things?
But, of course, now that you and I aren't doing business anymore...
Well, now, wait a minute, Squire. I think maybe I can let you have this one order.
Don't do it, Abner. Don't you do it.
Hush up, Grandpap. Just stay out of this now. Yeah, you can have the grocery, Squire.
Spoken like a true friend, Abner.
Sassy Fred. Sassy Fred.
Now, what's the information, Squire?
Well, by virtue of a bit of expert detective work, I have discovered that Lum is going to break in this store tonight.
Break in?
Well, he's got a key, so he'll just walk in, but nevertheless, he's planning a little robbery.
Robbery? Are you sure about this, Squire?
Oh, yes, indeed, I have no doubt about it. At midnight, Lum is going to come in here, and he expects to find that piece of paper that he signed.
Aye, doggies, he's going to come in here and find something he don't expect. Let me get that phone, Grandpa.
Yeah, who you going to call?
I'm going to call the town marshal, Uncle Henry Lunsford. Aye, doggies, we'll be waiting for him.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the breach between the old fellows is wider than ever now. Squire Skimp talked Lum into breaking into the store the other night in order to get the paper back which gives Abner sole ownership of the store and bakery. The squire then turned about and traded this information to Abner for some groceries. So Abner called the town marshal, Uncle Henry Lunsford, and stationed him in the store that night to wait for Lum. As we look in on the little community today, we find poor old Lum in the town jail. And just outside the cell door, we find a very remorseful Abner. Listen.
Well, now, listen, Lum.
Go away. I don't want to talk to you, Mr. Peabody. You've got me throwed in jail. Ain't that enough to satisfy you? Do you have to come down here and gloat over what you done?
I don't want to gloat over nothing, Lum. I just want to explain to you how this whole thing was just a joke.
A joke? It's a fine joke. Making a jailbird out of a respectable citizen. Putting a blot on an untarnished character. Crossing his face with the shatter of the bars.
Well, Lum, I never meant for you to actually get put in jail. When I told Uncle Henry Lunsford to surprise you at the store when you come in to get that paper you signed, why, I said I was just doing it to josh you.
Well, you ought to know better than to get Uncle Henry in on any kind of a joke. He don't know the meaning of the word joke.
No.
There's a seriousest one feller there is in this town. Special since he got to be town marshal. Granted, you ought to see how important he acts. I actually believe he's proud he's got me in here.
Well, that's natural, Lum. You're the only prisoner he's ever had since he got elected, I reckon.
Well, he's sure making the most of it, I know that. Granny, he bosses me around something wonderful.
Bosses you around?
Yeah, he's got a big bell he keeps ringing every time he wants me to do something. He rung it at 5 o'clock this morning, made me eat some bread and water. Said that was my breakfast.
Well?
And he rung it again at 6 and put a big chain on me and marched me outdoors to break up rocks.
Break up rocks?
Yeah, we finally found a rock, but we couldn't find nothing to break it up with, so he brought me back in.
Well,
Then he rung the bell again at 9 o'clock and gave me an encyclopedia to read. Said it was reading hour for the prisoners. I didn't want to read nothing, but he held his gun on me and made me do it.
hey, Doggers, where's Uncle Henry getting all them ideas?
Oh, he's seen a moving picture in at the county seat all about a big penitentiary, so now he thinks he's got to do everything he's seen in that picture.
Well, I do know.
And I ain't been here but a short time, and already I'm wore to a frazzle. Wore to a frazzle. Think what I'll be in 10 years from now.
10 years? Why, you ain't going to be in here 10 years long.
I don't know. I might just as well be. Everybody in town knows where I'm at, so I might just as well spend the rest of my life right here. I'm a ruined man. Don't matter now whether I'm here one day or 1,000 years.
Oh, you ain't roaring, Lum. I'll have you out of here today, just as soon as I can explain to Uncle Henry that I don't want to bring no charges against you for breaking in the store. He'll turn you loose.
Go ahead, bring the charges against me. I don't care.
No, sir, I ain't gonna do it. I'll get you out of here in no time at all.
Well, why ain't you done it then? You've had enough time to explain all Einstein's, or whatever his name is, theories about relatives by now.
Well, I ain't been able to get a hold of Uncle Henry long enough to tell him nothing. He keeps saying he's too busy to talk to me.
Yeah, it sounds like him.
Just keeps running around like he's might not touched. I reckon he's just so excited about having a prisoner he don't know what to do.
Well, it don't matter no way, 'cause I don't want you to get me out of here. Fact is, I don't never want to have nothing to do with you as long as I live, Mr. Peabody.
Oh, now listen to me, Lum.
I mean it. I mean every word I'm saying.
Why, Lum, me and you's been partners for a long time, and...
Uh-oh.
Doggers, what's that?
Oh, that's that dad-blame bell Uncle Henry keeps ringing.
What's it ringing for this time?
I don't know. More than likely wants me to scrub out the jail again or some such crazy idea. Well, I'll find out in a minute. Here he comes.
Yeah, well, good. I'll get a chance to talk to him.
All right. All the prisoners get ready for recreation hour. Oh, hello there, Abner.
Yeah, hello, Uncle Henry. Say, I want to talk to you.
Yes, all right. Ain't got time to talk now, Abner. Have to take care of the prisoners right now. Got 'em on strict regulations. Only way to run a jail is to run it right. Let's see now. Which is the right key?
Well, Uncle Henry, this is important.
Oh, here we are. Well, how are you, Lum? Or, I mean, number 6702.
I ain't very good, Uncle Henry.
The prisoners all call me Marshal.
I mean Marshal. What are you unlocking my cell for?
Recreation hour for the prisoners. A rigid system of exercise. Builds up the prisoner's body and gets his mind off of crime and all such as that. All right. Step out of your cell.
But I don't want no exercise, Marshal.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, sir, Bob. Regulation says you do. All right, now. All prisoners line up and count off.
Count off? I'm the only prisoner you got.
I said count off.
Oh, all right. 1.
That's fine. All prisoners present are accounted for.
Say, Uncle Henry, now I gotta talk to you.
Don't interfere with jail regulations, Abner. All right, number 7602. Hands on the hips. Up on the toes to count of 1. Bend at the knees and back into position.
Uncle Henry, I don't need no exercise.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
Now
2,
listen, Uncle
3,
Henry,
4.
you can't put Lum in jail.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't want to bring no
1,
charges
2,
against him.
3, 4.
Uncle Henry, now listen to
1,
me.
2, 3, 4.
The other night when I wanted you to
1,
catch Lum
2,
breaking in the
3,
store, I never
4.
meant that you ought to actually
1.
throw him in jail.
All right. That's all for recreation hour. Back in your cell.
Uncle Henry, now you got to listen to me.
Come. Back in your cell.
Well, now wait a minute. This is important.
In you go. There you are.
Hey, wait a minute. You got me in a cell. I ain't the one that's in jail.
Huh? What's that?
Let me out of here.
Yeah, for goodness sakes, get him out of there. I don't want to have to share no cell with him.
Oh, I'm sorry, Abner. Bending over that way and them exercises, it gets me a little dizzy and my eyes blur. Here, I'll get you out.
Yeah, hurry up.
That's too strenuous. Might have to cut out this recreation hour.
And I hope so. I can't put up with this much longer.
All right. In you go, Lum. Or, I mean, number 7620 or 62. Let's see, what was your number now, Lum?
I don't know, and I don't care.
By George, I'd better go and look that up. If you're going to run a jail, you might as well run it right. That's what I always say, if you're going to run
Well,
a
hey,
jail.
Uncle Henry, wait a minute. Come back here. Uncle Henry.
Stop hollering. He won't come back.
No, I reckon not. Oh, wait a minute. Look, look
What's
here.
the matter? What?
Look here. Uncle Henry left the keys in the lock here. Hi, Dogies, this is your chance, Lum. Come on. I'll let you out right now.
I don't want to get out.
Don't want to get out.
Of course not. What have I got to get out for?
Huh?
There ain't no place for a ruined man with a shatter of bars on him. Nobody'll harm me, and I ain't got no store or bakery or nothing to go back to.
Yes, you have too, Lum.
No, I ain't. It all belongs to you, Mr. Peabody.
No, not no more it don't. I'm going to give you your half back, Lum. Just give it right back to you, and me and you'll be partners. All right, Dogies, I got you in jail, and I'm going to get you out. I wish now that Squire Skimp never had told me you was going to break in the store and get that paper.
Squire,
Yeah?
did he tell you that?
Why, of course he did. I don't know how he found out you was going to do it, but over there at the store the other day, why, he said he'd found it out that he'd done some sort of detective work, he said.
Why, that snake in the weeds. He was the one that talked me into doing it.
Squire was?
Yes, sir. He said how you and me had always been such good partners, beautiful friendships and all such as that. And he said the one thing that was keeping us apart was that little scrap of paper I signed giving you the store and bakery. So it was my duty to get it back.
Well, I do know.
That's what he said.
Well, I wondered how he knew exactly what time you was going to break in and all.
Snake in the weeds. Abner, I've changed my mind. I want to get out of here.
You do?
I got to have a little talk with Squire Skimp.
That's our time. Wait a minute. Here, I'll unlock the door for you
No,
right now.
I don't mean get out that way. I don't want to be no fugitive from justice.
Oh,
Go to Uncle Henry and tell him that about you not bringing charges against me, and I know he'll let me out.
yeah. I, Dogies, I'll make him listen this time.
Tell him that you... Uh-oh. You won't need to go. He'll be here in a minute. He rings the bell, and then he runs in here.
I reckon what it's for this time.
I don't know, but whatever it is, I ain't going to do it. I know
All
that.
right. All prisoners' attention.
What is it now, Marshal?
It's let me see now. It's, dadgummit, I forgot what I rung the bell for this time. Let me see now.
Well, don't bother thinking it up, Uncle Henry, 'cause Lum ain't going to be in jail no longer no way.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Well, in the first place, Lum never actually took nothing when he come in the store the other night.
Of course he didn't. I never give him a chance.
And in the second place, it was all just a joke. I ain't going to bring charges against him no way, so you might as well let him out.
Let him out.
Yeah, didn't you hear me say I weren't going to bring charges against him?
Abner, this is clean out of your hands. The law is taken over. Lum here has broke into a store building, so it's my duty to lock him up. I've got to show the citizens of this town that all breaking of the law has got to be punished. Number 6702 here has committed a crime, and by George, he's got to stand trial for it.
Stand trial?
Yes, sir. This is the first prisoner I've had in this jail since I've been in office. And by cracky, I aim to make an example out of him.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Dogies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum's hopes for a quick release from jail were shattered when Town Marshal Henry Lunsford refused to listen to Abner's plea that he didn't want to bring charges against Lum. Uncle Henry insists that Lum made an attempt to break into the Jot 'em Down store, and therefore he must stand trial. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum still in the town jail. Uncle Henry is in the cell with him, carrying out another one of his prison regulations. Listen.
Well, Uncle Henry, Marshal, I tell you, I don't need no haircut.
You be quiet, number 6702, and sit still. I'm running this jail. By George, I ain't going to do no slipshod job of it, neither. Now, I recollect when I was elected marshal, I told my woman, I said, now that I got this job, I'm going to do it right. I say I'm going to do it right. Now, I finally got me a prisoner. Sit still, Lum.
I'm trying to, but them sheep shears you're using pulling something awful. Ain't you cut enough off by now?
No, sirree, Bob. We got to get you showing right down to the scalp. And that's the way they do it in the book.
The book?
Why, sure. Picked me up a book the other day. Oh, it's got some wonderful ideas in it. Let's see, it's called Psychological Aspects of Prison Practices, or some such name. Dadgummit, Lum, sit still.
Well, you're cutting all my hair off. Granny's, I'll catch a cold.
Can't help it. Prison regulation.
Wait a minute. Get away from my mustache now. I ain't gonna let you cut that off, too.
It's gotta go, Lum. Just a second. Let me check with the book.
Yeah, check with the book. If it says my mustache has to be cut off, I'll be dogged if I'll stay in your old jail.
Let's see now. Let's see. Ah, here we are. Mm-hmm. No, I was wrong, Lum. I was wrong. Here's a picture of a criminal here with his mustache still on. Yeah, I reckon you can keep yours.
Well, good.
Well, I do know.
Now, what's the matter?
I was just noticing here, Lum. All these criminals pictured here has got scars on their faces.
Scars?
Yes, I was just...
Uncle Henry, put down them shears.
Oh, I ain't going to make no actual scars, Lum. I was just thinking, though, we could paint some marks on your face, and I reckon they'd ought to show up like scars when I'd taken your photograph.
Photograph? Is that what all this hair cutting's for?
Yes, sir, Bob. I got taking your picture for the road gallery. I'm going to hang you right up there alongside of all the other criminals.
What other criminals?
Well, I ain't catched them yet, but don't worry, I will. I'll get them. I'm bound and determined I'm going to make a success of myself with this marshal job. Hey, I recollect when I was elected, I told my wife I was going to run the jail right, and I'm going to run it right. And by...
Hello, Mr. Lum.
What's that?
Oh, howdy, Cedric. Come on in. How much money did you raise?
Well, let's see. I got...
No talking. No communication with the prisoners, Cedric.
Well, I just want to tell Mr. Lum how much money...
I can't do that, Cedric. Talking is just allowed during visiting hours. And visiting hours is from 3 to 4 o'clock p.m. You can come back then.
Well, it's nearly 3 now. Just about.
Can't help it. You gotta wait till 3. Just sit down there and keep your mouth shut.
Yes, Mom.
And no signals behind my back.
No, Mom. Boy, you look funny without no hair.
Cedric! I said no talking. And no remarks about the haircuts I give either. That's official regulation one.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
Boy, I'd like to get a haircut like that. How much do you charge for them?
They don't cost nothing, Cedric. You just have to get in jail first, that's all.
Well, how do I go about getting in? Is there some dues to pay or something?
Just a minute there. There's something suspicious going on here. You two talking outside of visiting hours. Yes, there's something suspicious. Cedric, you ain't brung Lum a loaf of bread, have you?
Loaf of bread?
Yeah, with a file in it. By George, I'd love to tear open a loaf of bread and find a file in it. Ain't found a single file since I've been marshal.
Well, I can get one over to the blacksmith shop. You want me to bring it over next time I come?
I wish you would, Cedric. Hide it in a cake or something.
For goodness sakes. Uncle Henry, can't you stop all this foolishness and let me talk to Cedric? It's 3 o'clock now.
What? 3 o'clock? Well, by Jasper, it is. Yes, sir, Bob. Drop everything. It's visiting hours now. I'll go ring the bell. And don't say a word till you hear me ring the bell. Gotta observe strict regulations around here, and there's only one way to run a jail, and that's to run it right. I say,
For goodness sakes, it's spread over at him.
Reckon what size of a file he wants me to bring.
All right, go ahead.
Well, come on, hurry up, Cedric. How much money was you able to sell them belongings of mine for?
$8 and 2 quarters.
$8 and a half? Granny's, is that all you could sell them things for?
Yes, Mom.
Why, that rocking chair alone was worth more than that. Granny's, I can't hire me no lawyer for $8.50.
Well, you still got some more stuff over there to sell. You want me to try to sell some more of it?
No, it ain't no use, Cedric. I don't reckon a lawyer'd do me no good no way. All Abner has to do to win the trial is just get out that paper I signed giving him my half the store and bakery. As soon as he shows that in court, why, I'm done for. That paper will prove I never had no business breaking in the store. It's burglary is what it is.
Well, what if they don't show the paper, though?
Well, don't you worry, he will. He has to. It's the only piece of evidence there is in this trial. The whole thing rests on that. No, Cedric, I'm done for, that's all.
I'll be proud to sell the rest of your things. I believe Mr. Squire will buy some more of it.
Some more? You never sold Squire none of them other things, did you?
Yes, Mom, all of them. He said he was proud to help out old and rusty friend, or something like that.
Why, that old hypocrite. He was the one that got me in here. First, he talked me into breaking in the store to get the paper, and then he told Abner that I was going to do it, so that Abner could have me arrested.
Well, reckon what he done that for?
Oh, it's plain enough, Cedric. Long as I can recollect, Squire's wanted to get hold of the store. But he knows I'm too smart a businessman for him. So natural, he wants to get me out of the way, like getting me thrown in jail. And then he figures he'll have an easy time swindling Abner out of the store. He can do it, too.
Well, that's funny, because Mr. Squire talked like he's awful friendly.
Wait a minute. There comes Abner. Don't say nothing to him about me trying to raise money for a lawyer.
Oh, no, Mom, I won't. Fact is, I better be getting over to the blacksmith shop so as I can get that file for Mr. Uncle Henry.
Yeah, bring one over and get him satisfied. So long, Cedric.
So long, Mr. Lum. Hello, Mr. Abner. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Cedric. Well, howdy, Lum. What's Cedric and say?
What are you laughing at?
Hi, doggies, what happened to your hair, Lum? You look like you've been through one of them electric fans.
Well, don't laugh. This is the least of what I got to go through around here. Granny, it's worse than ever since Uncle Henry got some book that tells what they do in the big penitentiaries.
Book?
Yeah, he got me doing everything the book says. Brought in a bundle of hemp a while ago and told me to make some rope out of it.
Some rope?
Yeah. Granny, I don't know how to make rope. And then he read where some penitentiary had a baseball team. So this morning he had me playing baseball all by myself.
Baseball? Why, you can't play baseball by yourself.
I know it. All I could do is throw the ball up in the air and catch it, but there ain't no game to that.
Why, of course not.
Now, you got to get me out of here before I go stark raving mad crazy, Abner.
Well, I don't know, Lum. I don't believe I can get you out of jail. I just ain't no use talking to Uncle Henry. I've done tried that. But you don't need to worry, 'cause I know you'll win the trial easy, Lum.
I don't know how. I'm guilty of breaking in the store, ain't I?
Well, you ain't guilty if you break in your own store, are you?
Of course not, but I never broke in my own store. Wait a minute. Abner, you don't mean you'd...
That's exactly what I mean. I doggies will destroy that paper and the store's half yours again.
Granny, would you actually do that, Abner?
Why, sure. Fact is, I'm going to do it right now.
Well, good for you.
I just come over here to get your key so that I can go over to your place and get the paper.
To my place?
Yeah, well, I never let you know, Lum, but you've had that paper for several days. It weren't at the store at all.
What are you talking about?
Well, you recollect when you taken some books home from the library?
Yeah.
Well, that paper was hid in one of them books you taken.
For goodness sakes. For goodness sakes.
What's the matter?
I just happened to think of something.
Huh?
I'm a ruined man, Abner.
Ruined?
Cedric sold them books to Squire Skimp.
Oh, my goodness.
Granny, now that Squire's got them papers, I ain't got a chance in the world to win the trial. Oh, me, for goodness.
One, two. Wait a minute. There's Uncle Henry's bell again. Reckon what he wants now.
I don't know. Nothing matters now. I'm a ruined man.
Only. Trouble. Nothing but trouble.
What's the matter now, Uncle Henry?
Oh, I've just figured out something terrible. You know who's supposed to try this here case for Lum?
No, who?
The Justice of the Peace.
The Justice of the Peace?
Yes, sir. And you know who that is?
Why, of course, Lum is Justice of the Peace.
Well, there you are. It looks like Lum has got to try himself, and I can't figure no other way out it.
Granny, don't try. This is the first good news I've heard in a long time. I'm going to try myself.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, one of the storm clouds hovering over Lum finally turned out to have a silver lining. Uncle Henry Lunsford, the town marshal, still insists that Lum must stand trial for entering the Jot 'em Down store at midnight, even though Abner doesn't want to bring any charges against his partner. However, Lum has stopped worrying about this since it was discovered that as he is justice of the peace, he must try his own case. As we look in on the little community today, we find that it's visiting hour at the jail, and Abner has just arrived. Listen.
Well, howdy, Lum.
Oh, hello, Abner.
Uncle Henry said I could come in and see you for 15 minutes, but I can't say nothing till you hear the visitor's bell ring on.
Oh, for goodness sakes. I wish he'd break that confounded bell. Well, there it is. Go ahead and talk now.
Yeah, well, what I come in to tell you, Lum, Hey, Dogies, what you doing with all them weeds in your cell?
Oh, it's another one of Uncle Henry's ideas. He sent Cedric down to the river to get a truckload of reeds, and now I'm supposed to weave baskets out of them.
Baskets? What does he want baskets for?
I don't know. He says this is to keep me from thinking about murders and bank robberies and embezzling and all such as that.
Oh, is that what you been thinking about?
Of course not. But he says according to that penitentiary book he's got, that's what I think about all the time. And there ain't no way to get that idea out of his head, neither.
Well?
Says you got to keep me busy all the time, keep me cheerful and happy. Does this look anything like a basket to you, this thing here?
Well, not exactly, Lum. It sort of looks just like a bunch of weeds tied together to me.
It does, don't it?
Yeah, I believe it does.
I told Uncle Henry I couldn't make no baskets. At least not any that's good enough to sell.
Sal, are you going into the basket business?
Oh, that's another one of Uncle Henry's ideas. He said he'd put on an open house at the jail next Saturday so everybody in town could come in and see the prisoners. I'm the only one they got, of course.
Yeah.
They'd look at the work I've been doing. He said I could sell my baskets to the visitors, and that way I could get confidence in myself.
Confidence, huh?
Make enough to buy gum and candy and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's awful thoughty, Uncle Henry, to do that for you, Lum.
What do you mean, thoughty? It's just a way to embarrass me.
Oh.
Grannies, I never could stand that, having everybody in Pine Ridge staring at me in jail here, weaving baskets, doing woman's work. Or Indian woman's, anyway.
Yeah.
Now, I got to get out of here, Abner. That's all there are to it.
Yeah, well, that's what I sort of come over to tell you, Lum. You can get out just as soon as your trial starts.
That's the trouble. Uncle Henry won't set the date for my trial.
Well, of course not. It ain't up to him. It's up to you.
Up to me?
Yeah.
How can that be? I'm the feller that's being tried.
Yeah, but long as you're justice of the peace, why, you're the feller that's going to try the case.
That's right, ain't it?
Why, sure. I asked Uncle Henry about it, and... well, he sort of hammed and hawed for a long time. He hated to tell me the worst way, but finally he admitted himself it's up to you to set the date.
Why, Granny's the date set then. Right now's the date. Right this very minute.
Yeah, well, Uncle Henry said something about giving 24-hour notice of the trial or something. I forget why, but he said that.
All right, then. The trial's set for tomorrow. 24 hours from this minute.
Tomorrow, huh?
Yes, sir. I'll be a free man in 24 hours.
Well, good for you, Lum.
Free man once again. Granny's I'll be glad to get out of here.
Oh, my, yeah.
And we ain't never going to let ourselves get tangled up in another mess like this, Abner. I made up my mind about that.
That's a good idea.
I got to studying about this whole thing last night in my cell here, and I got to realizing just how silly we've been.
What do you mean, silly, Lum?
Well, it all started from such a little thing when you stop to think about it. See, I signed a scrap of paper giving you my half of the store and bakery. But both of us knowed it didn't mean nothing.
No.
Just done that so's Mousey Gray'd quit his job at the mill and spend his time training for his boxing career.
Sure.
That was a mistake right there, too, that Mousey couldn't lick a postage stamp.
No, and then I kept the paper just to teach you a lesson about getting off on big ideas and ignoring the store, and that was a mistake, too.
Yeah, and then one thing led to something else, and the first thing you know, me and you got mad at one another like a couple of half-growed youngins, and before we knowed it, the law stepped in and took it clean out of our hands.
Yeah.
Now here I am being tried for a crime I never actually committed. And even if I did, you don't want to bring no charges against me.
Of course not. I told Uncle Henry 1,000 or 100 times, but he just won't listen to reason. Stubbornest one feller I ever knowed.
Well, I'm the only prisoner he's ever had since he's elected town marshal, and he's just bound and determined he's going to make an example out of me.
Yeah, that's it. That's what he said.
It'll all be over tomorrow, and I'll be a free man again.
Of course, now, you got to win the trial first, though, before you're a free man, Lum.
Well, don't worry. This is one trial I know I can win.
Well, don't forget, Squire Skimp's got that piece of paper you signed, or at least it's in one of them books of ours that he bought from Cedric, and he might not know it, but it's in there.
I thought you sent Grandpappy Spears over to buy them books back from Squire on account of we needed from the library.
Well, I did, but I ain't heard from him yet. What if Squire found that paper and brings it up at the trial? Won't that make it look like he broke into my store that night instead of just going into your own store?
It might, but as long as I'm trying the case, I'll just rule out the evidence as unrelevant and non-consequence.
You will, huh?
Abstain the objections and all that stuff. I ain't worried about that.
Well, I hope you're right.
Only thing I'm worried about is that Uncle Henry may get me so wore out before the trial I won't be able to try myself.
Wore out?
Yeah, he's hired some feller that he's going to chain me up to this afternoon, make a chain gang out of us.
Chain gang?
Yeah, he's been wanting a chain gang, and he just had one prisoner, so he went out and hired a feller.
For the land's sake.
Now he's going to take us out to work on the road.
Work on the road?
Yeah, he's arranged with old man Mac Milne to have us repair that place where the highway was washed out just south of town here.
Well, I do know.
And you know what that kind of work does to my back.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be so stove up, I'll never be able to climb up on the Justice of the Peace bench tomorrow evening.
No.
Grannies, I wish I knowed some way to get out of here right today.
Well, you'll never be able to stand working on that road. Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Look here, Lum. Uncle Henry went and left the key in the lock again. Look at there. You can just slip out the back door of the jail and come back tomorrow for the trial.
Oh, no, not me, Abner.
Well, why not? This is your chance, Lum.
Listen, Abner, that key in the lock is just a trap. He wants me to try to escape.
Wants you to?
Sure he does. He's been trying to get me to do that ever since he read a chapter in his prison book about how to conduct a manhunt. There ain't no one thing that Uncle Henry'd rather I'd do than try to escape. Just dying for me to do it.
Well, I thought he wanted to keep you in jail.
Oh, he does, but he thinks that'd be exciting. Make a big man out of him in the community if he recaptured me. Wants to get up a posse and chase me all over the country. Then, of course, he's got that bloodhound.
Bloodhound? I never knowed Uncle Henry had a bloodhound.
Well, that's what he calls it anyway. Looks more like a Airedale. Part Airedale and part hound, I think it is.
Oh, that, yeah.
Every night when I go to bed, Uncle Henry takes my shoes and puts them near the dog so he'll get familiar with who I am. Then he'll know who to track down when I escape through the swamps.
Through the swamps?
Well, yeah. If Uncle Henry's told me once, he's told me 100 times that the best place for a prisoner to head for is the swamps.
Well?
He said that's where the convicts in that moving picture he's seen went.
Well, if he's talking about them swamps down there along the river, well, that's an awful long ways from here, Lum. I don't believe you could make them.
Well, Uncle Henry leaves the key in that old car of his.
Oh.
He mentioned that sort of offhanded the other day, so I figure he wants me to escape in his car and drive over to the swamps.
Yeah.
Fact is, I think he'd even drive me over there himself if I insisted on it. Anything just to get me over there.
Hi, doggy, that would be exciting, you know. You splashing through them swamps and the dogs are barking and fellers with guns chasing you.
Abner, don't talk that way, Grannies. I don't like to even hear it.
Huh?
I go through enough around here without you getting them ideas, too. Thing for you to do is help me study up some way to get out of here before I got to do that road work. Wait a minute, is that Uncle Henry coming?
Where? Oh, no, Grandpappy Spear. Must be back from Squire's place.
Yeah.
Well, howdy, Grandpap.
Well, howdy.
Hey, how you, Lum? I ain't even tolerable today, Grandpap.
Did you get the books back from Squire, Grandpap?
I sure did, Abner, but I'll be dogged if I can find that paper in any of them.
Uh-oh. What, are you sure you look good?
Yeah, shook 'em out and everything. Turned every page in every book.
Well, I do know.
I'd a might nigh bet I put that paper in Gilbert the Boy Trapper, but it ain't there now.
Oh, my goodness. Did you hear that, Lum?
Yeah, I ain't worried, Abner. All I'm worried about is getting out of here right now. Well, why don't you get out then, Lum? Squire Skimp says you can.
Squire? What's he got to do with it?
Well, he said long as Lum's Justice of the Peace, why don't he let himself out on bail?
On bail?
All right, Granny, that's right. I can do that.
Why, sure.
Well, why didn't I think of that before?
Well, good for you, Long. Good for Grandpap. Good for everybody.
Abner, run and tell Uncle Henry I'm letting myself out on bail right now.
Yeah. How much you setting the bail at, Long?
Oh, 5 cents. Now, hurry up.
Yeah, I'll tell him 5 cents, huh?
Wait a minute, though.
Huh?
5 cents. That don't sound very good, does it?
It don't, huh?
Well, I'm more important than that, I know.
Oh, sure, you're worth more than a nickel, I believe.
I wouldn't want that to get around. Make it $1,000, Abner.
Yeah, that's better. $1,000.
Make it 5,000. Ain't often they get a prisoner like me in here.
Oh,
5,000.
That's a time.
Or 10,000. That's just twice as much.
For a lamb
10,000. Granny, I want to be the most important prisoner they've ever had around here.
Well, good for you. I'll tell him $10,000. Wait a minute, Long. Who pays that?
Huh?
Who's going to put up that $10,000?
That's right, ain't it? I reckon a nickel's enough. Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, today's the day of the big trial in which Lum Edwards, Justice of the Peace, is trying Lum Edwards, defendant, on the charge of attempting to break into the Jot 'em Down store. That same store has been converted into a courtroom, and the townsfolk are gathering now to witness this unusual trial. As we look in on the little community, we find Lum and Abner back in the feed room, waiting for everyone to arrive so that the trial can begin. Listen.
Are they all in there yet?
Yeah, the jury's all here, just waiting on Squire Skimp.
For goodness sakes, I wished he'd hurry up and get here. I want to get this thing over.
Well, I don't see why you had to get him mixed up in this no way, Lum.
Oh, I had to get somebody to prosecute me. I couldn't be the Justice of the Peace and defend myself and prosecute myself, too.
No.
I don't want nobody to ever say I've taken advantage of my office of Justice of the Peace to let myself go free.
Oh, of course not, no.
That's the reason I got a jury, make everything look legal.
Yeah. Well, I still wouldn't have got Squire Skimp mixed up in it, though.
Well, he's the only one in town that knows anything about law matters. Don't worry, I'll clear me all right. I told Cedric to look for that paper I signed giving you my half of the store and told him when he found it to tear it up.
Yeah, that's the thing to do.
That's the only evidence they got against me.
Yeah, if they don't find... Wait a minute, there comes Squire now.
Well, good. Let's get in there and get the thing over with and go ahead. And good morning, gentlemen, good morning. Proud to see so many of my personal friends on the jury. Sit down, gentlemen, sit down. Grandpap, I'll ask you to act as court clerk. Here's a list of the witnesses. You can call them up as we need them.
Yeah, sure, Lum.
Squire, are you ready for the case to start?
Any time, Your Honor, any time.
All right. The Court of Lum Edwards, Justice of the Peace, Cloverleaf Township, County of Polk, State of Arkansas, United States of America is now in session. The first case on the docket this morning is that of Lum Edwards versus the State of Arkansas. Fact is, that's the only case we've got. Mr. Edwards is wrongfully charged with attempted robbery.
I object to that.
Huh?
I object to such personal comments from the bench. That's what we're having the trial for, is to see if you're wrongfully charged.
Objection overruled. By the way, gentlemen of the jury, Mr. Skimp here is handling the prosecution, and Mr. Edwards is being defended by L. Edwards. Call the first witness, Mr. Spears. Mousey Gray. He's the first one. Mousey Gray, please come forward.
Yes, sir, I'm coming.
Just sit in the witness chair there, Mousey.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hello, Mousey, old boy.
Howdy, Lum.
Mousey, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I guess I do.
All right, Squire, you're a witness.
Mr. Gray, are you acquainted with the defendant here, Mr. Edwards?
Well, yes, sir, he was my manager when I was a box fighter.
Mm-hmm. And while he was serving in that capacity, did he do anything to induce you to quit your job at the mill and spend all your time training for your boxing career?
Why, yes, sir. He said that he'd quit his job, too, that he'd give his half of the store to Abner if I'd quit my job over at the mill.
And did he sign a paper to that effect?
I object.
On what grounds do you object, Lum, or Your Honor?
I just object, that's all. Justice of the peace ought to have some rights around here.
Well, all right. I think the fact that the justice, who is also the defendant, objecting to that question is sufficient for an answer. That's all, Mousey.
Wait a minute, Mousey. It's the defense's turn now.
Yes, sir.
Mousey, this paper that Squire just mentioned, do you see it anywhere in this room?
No, sir, I don't believe I do.
Well, don't start looking for it. This ain't no game we're playing.
Oh.
Do you know where such a paper is that's at?
No, sir.
All right, that's all, Mousey. Next witness, Grandpap. Oh, yeah, let's see here. Milford Spears. Is Milford Spears here? I reckon not. Next witness, Abner Peabody.
Yeah, I'm here. You want me to sit in the
Oh, wait
chair?
a minute. What's the matter with me anyway? I'm Milford Spears. Get out of the chair, Abner.
Oh, no, sir, you're too late, Grandpap. I'm done here now.
Yeah, blame it, I wanted to do some witnessing, too.
Well, I want to witness myself here.
I don't think we'll need you, Grandpap. All right, Abner, do you swear to
I
tell...
do. Come on, Squire, ask me the question.
Yeah, you're a witness, Squire.
Mr. Peabody, the defendant here is accused of breaking into your store on the night of...
It's half his store, so he weren't breaking in.
That's the time, Abner. That's the time.
Just
Stay in there,
answer
old
my
boy.
questions, Mr. Peabody. Answer my questions. Now, you say that it is half his store, but isn't it true that the defendant signed a legal document giving you his share of the business?
Well, I don't know.
Come now, isn't that the truth? Didn't Mr. Edwards sign such a paper?
Well, I believe he did put his name on some kind of a thing, but I don't recollect what it said, though.
That's the time, Abner.
But you admit that he did sign it. And because he was no longer a partner in the store, isn't it the truth that he was forced to seek other means of making a living, such as selling lead pencils, magazine subscriptions?
I object. That's an unrelevant question, because nobody can make a living selling them things. I found that out.
Well, all right. I think the prosecution is satisfied. That's all, Mr. Peabody. Your witness, Justice.
Thank you. Mr. Peabody, can you produce that so-called paper Squire Skimp keeps referring to?
No, sir, I can't.
Well, why not?
I don't know where such a paper's at.
That's all, Abner. Go back to your seat. Who's next, Grandpap? Let's see. The defendant's next, Lum Edders. Well, don't shout. I'm right here. Mr. Edders, do you swear to tell...
Just a minute, Your Honor. In spite of the fact that you're the Justice of the Peace, I believe you're required to go over to the witness chair at this time.
Well, in view of different circumstances, such as trying to sit on the bench and in the witness stand at the same time, I'm making a special ruling in my case. Ruling sustained. Proceed, Your Honor. Thank you. Mr. Edders, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Do you want to ask the defendant any questions, Squire?
Only one. And if the defendant tells the truth, the prosecution will rest. Mr. Edwards, did you sign a document giving your share of the Jot-'em-Down store to Mr. Peabody?
I object. That's a leading question. I stand on my Constitution right.
That's our time, Lum.
Well, this is quite irregular, I must say. But I feel that the defendant's evasion of this question, gentlemen, is as good as an affirmative answer. That's all.
Well, good. Now, I'll ask the defendant a few questions. Mr. Edwards, have you known the defendant to be an honest, upright citizen, never committing no crimes? Yes, sir. Do you know the whereabouts of any document he signed giving away his half of the store? No, sir. Thank you, sir. That's all. Gentlemen of the jury, you've heard the evidence in this case, and there ain't none. Nobody's been able to produce no such a document as the prosecution's been talking about. And nobody knows where such a document's at, neither. Therefore, the defendant, who is a fine, honest, noble feller and citizen in good standing, still owns part of the Jot 'em Down store, and therefore this trustworthy gentleman could not be guilty of breaking into somebody else's store. Gentlemen of the jury, as I see this case from an impartial viewpoint, there's only one verdict that you can bring in. Not guilty. The defense rests. All right, Squire, go ahead.
Well, in view of the lack of evidence...
Mr. Lum.
Please, Cedric, don't interrupt court's in session.
Well, I just wanted to ask Mr. Lum if this is the paper he wanted me to destroy.
Cedric, you get out of here.
Oh, my goodness.
Just a minute. Let me see that paper, Cedric.
Don't you do it, Cedric. Don't you do it.
Hand it here, Cedric. That may be evidence in this case. Yeah, just as I thought. Gentlemen of the jury, I offer herewith, as Exhibit A, the document signed by Mr. Edwards giving away his half of the store. The prosecution rests.
Oh, my goodness. Court is now in recess.
Recess?
Yeah, come here a minute, Abner.
Huh?
This is terrible.
What's the matter, Uncle?
Oh, that dead named Cedric losing the case for me that way.
Well, you ain't worried, are you? Can't you just let yourself go free?
Well, it ain't up to me to say whether I'm guilty or not. It's up to the jury.
Oh.
And they'll have to say I'm guilty now.
Well, let them say you're guilty. Then you can just sentence yourself to just about 1 day in jail.
I can't do that, though.
Huh?
According to the law, I got to sentence myself to 1 to 5 years in the penitentiary.
Oh, my goodness.
Granny, I believe I'd rather take my chances with some other judge. I know too much.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do, Lum?
I'll show you.
Huh?
Courts reconvene in session again. Due to the peculiar circumstances of this case, the Justice of the Peace is asking for a change of venue. This case will be tried before Judge Parker in at the county seat. Case dismissed. Granny's, Abner, I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, in his trial against himself, Justice of the Peace Lum Edwards adjourned court and asked for a change of venue. It seems that the evidence against him was getting a little too damaging, and Lum felt that he would have a better chance before a judge who knew less about the case. So Lum has written to Judge Parker at the county seat asking for a trial there. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Mousey in the Jot 'em Down store. Abner is going out for lunch. Lum seems to be making some kind of a speech. Listen.
And look, gentlemen of the jury, look at these gnarled old hands, calloused by years of honest toil. Do they look like the hands of a feller that could even think of robbing his beloved partner? I ask you, gentlemen. Do you feel like crying yet, Mousey?
No, sir, I don't believe I do, Lum.
Well, I don't believe you're trying. Now, concentrate.
Yes, sir.
And look at these gray hairs, gentlemen. Look at these gray hairs which covers the honest old head, which has for many years been a familiar figure in the peaceful community of Pine Ridge. All is admired for his upright living and doing good for others. I ask you, gentlemen of the jury, should these revered gray hairs be hid behind iron bars just because of a misunderstanding? I can't go on, gentlemen.
For goodness sake.
Huh?
What in the world are you doing, Lum?
Well, I never heard you coming in, Abner. I'm just practicing up my plea to the jury when I go into the county seat for my trial.
Oh.
I don't believe I can cry at all today, Lum. I've been trying, honest I have.
Well, never mind, Mousey. You ain't going to be on the jury no way, so it don't matter.
Well, I tried, Lum, but, well, me and Gussie are just so happy since we got married, and she's so proud that I have a job at your store, and, well, I just don't like crying.
Well, just forget about it.
You see, Gussie is just like a mother to me, and I'm so happy.
Never mind, Mousey. I don't care whether you cry or not. Just forget about it.
No, Mousey, you better go make a deal of hers.
Yes, sir. Well, while I'm driving around, Lum, I'll try to think of something that'll make me sad, but, well, Gussie is just so wonderful. She's just like a mother to me.
You already said that. Hurry up and get out.
Yes, sir.
Grannies, are we going to have to keep him around the store all the time?
Well, I hired him while I was trying to run the store by myself, Lum, and he's sort of getting on to things. He tries awful hard to do everything you tell him just right.
It's his trouble. He tries too hard. I just asked him if my jury speech made him feel like crying, so now he thinks he's got to cry about something.
Yeah.
Grannies, he gets on my nerves.
What are you practicing up jury speeches for? Are you going to defend yourself at the trial there at the county seat?
Of course I am. This case is getting too serious to trust anybody else to handle it.
Tis, huh?
Yeah, since Cedric messed everything up by bringing that paper I signed right into court the other day, everybody knows there's some awful damaging evidence against me.
Yeah, you're right, Lum. Cedric ought never to have done that.
Well, of course, I know he thought he was doing the right thing, but he's made it awful bad for me.
Oh, yeah.
Fact is, I don't know whether getting a change of Venice and taking my case to another court's going to help me after all.
Well, you knowed you was going to get convicted in your own justice of the peace court, Lum. At least you still got a chance of getting free in somebody else's court.
Yeah, but it's an awful slim chance, Abner. I've been reading in some of these law books we got in the library, and be honest, it just don't look good for me.
Well, now, dog, you better figure out a good case for yourself now before you go into the county seat. When's your trial going to be?
I don't know yet. I read Judge Barker all the details of the case a couple of days ago, so I ought to hear from him today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it don't make no difference when it is. The facts of the case still shows I'm guilty of breaking in a store that belonged to you at the time, so I got to take the consequence.
Yeah, well, get out them law books again, Lum. Let's see what we can figure out here. My dog is I ain't going to stand back and see my partner get sent to the penitentiary for nothing. Go ahead, get out them books.
I got them right here.
Oh, that's it.
And there's a case in one of them sounds quite a bit like mine. Wait till I find it here.
Yeah, fine. We'll figure out something. Now, don't worry, Lum. Don't worry now. We'll figure it out.
Here, this is the one. It's under burglary. Breaking and entering. In the case of the state of Illinois versus Fenwick Hibbing, 1917, X42J21, the evidence...
Well, I do know, so that's what become of him.
Become a who?
Old man Higgins, his boy. And here his mama thought all the time he was up there on a wheat farm in North Dakota. Instead of that, he's burgling down there in Illinois.
Well, wait a minute, Abner. This ain't what you think.
Well, we mustn't tell his mama now, Lum. It just break her poor heart. She just thinks the world and all of that boy.
Abner, his name was Francis, and the one in the book here is Fenwick.
Oh, give a different name, huh? Well, good for him. he more likely done that just to spare his mama. I believe underneath it all, he's still a good boy. Facts is, the reason he went up to North Dakota to work there in the first place was to earn enough money to help his mama.
For goodness sakes.
Reckon he couldn't make the money fast enough on the farm, so he just went down to Illinois there and taken up robbing. Does it say what he robbed?
It was a bank, but this is different.
Oh, my goodness, a bank. He oughtn't to have did it. I wish he'd have come to us first.
Listen, Abner, the book ain't talking about Francis. In the first place, this robbery taking place in 1917.
1917? Why, little Francis weren't over 2 or 3 years old then, Lum. That don't seem possible. A 3-year-old young'un doing such a thing as that.
Well, it ain't possible. Besides, this feller was also charged with manslaughter on account of there was a bank teller accidental killed.
Oh, my goodness. Are they accusing little Francis of that, too?
Of course not. He weren't anywhere near there. This was a different feller altogether.
Man, I'm glad to hear that. Hate to see a 3-year-old young'un sent up for doing such as that. Reckon who could have did it? Snake Hogan's mean enough, but I don't think he's ever been up to Illinois.
Abner, I just read you this to show you what was going to happen to me. I'm the one I'm worried about.
You? Well, you never... Wait a minute. I doggone, that's right, ain't it? You was in Illinois once. And it were in 1917, too.
Huh?
I recollected you went up there to visit your uncle, Lum. I doggone, we got to keep this quiet.
Keep it quiet.
Why, sure. If this ever comes up at your trial at the county seat, why, you'll lose a case sure the world.
Well, Abner, I never done that bank robbery, that manslaughter.
I
if that's
know
what
you
you're
never,
talking.
Lum. I know you wouldn't do such a thing as that, but you was there. You know how folks get to talking, spreading rumors around. Was you in the bank any time that you was in Illinois?
Well, I reckon I was, but
Yeah, see there? Somebody might have saw you go in there. You never can tell.
Yeah, might have, mightn't they?
Why, sure. Then they'll tell somebody, and then that somebody will tell somebody else, and, well, that's the way things get started.
Oh, my goodness.
Just a misunderstanding. Well, in fact, your whole trial is just a misunderstanding twixt me and you.
Granny's, that's right, ain't it?
Why, sure it is.
And we're friends, too.
Why, sure.
You know, Abner, I'm liable to be a victim of circumstance evidence. That's just what I'm liable to be.
Oh, my goodness, this thing's getting serious, Lum.
What do you think we ought to do?
I don't know, I don't. Read some more in a book there. Maybe it tells how to get out of such a
Yeah, let's see. Here we are. Evidence which was brought out in this trial definitely proved that the charge of manslaughter... There's a footnote here. It says... Compare this case with the following. Norwich versus Monette, Holdridge versus East Ridgeway, and Bowerbank versus East... Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter, Lum?
Oh, my... Listen. Bowerbank versus East Eddards.
I knowed it. I knowed somebody seen you go in there.
Granny, that can't be me, Abner. This must be some other Eddards.
Yeah, but who'll ever believe it? Give me that book, Lum. Here, we got to get rid of that thing before Judge Parker or somebody sees us. Hurry up. Give it to me.
Ain't no use, Abner. Judge Parker and every lawyer in the county's got the same book.
How do you know?
Why, you saw them judges' office just jam full of these same kind of books.
Yeah.
I've saw them 1,000 or 100 times. And I know Judge Parker's been sitting there in his office reading up on this case. And he'll see that thing sure as a world.
Oh, my goodness.
He'll think I'm a hardened criminal, and I won't have a chance to win my case.
Why, no. Well, what do we do, Lum?
Granny's here liable to open up that old manslaughter case and try me for that, too.
I wish you'd never made that trip up there to Illinois. Wait a minute. There comes Cedric up out there.
Don't mention nothing to him about that trouble I'm in up there in Illinois.
Oh, no.
He'll blab it all over town.
Yeah, I won't mention it at all. Wait a minute. Well, howdy, Cedric. Come on in.
Abner. Got a letter here for Mr. Lum.
For Lum?
Who's it from, Cedric?
I don't know. Says something about Judge Parker up there in the corner there.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Dick Huddleston said it must be something important.
Grannies, I don't want to see it.
Well, you better read it, Lum.
Setting a date for the trial's what it is.
Here, I'll read it.
Bet you're pretty glad to get out of jail, ain't you, Mr. Lum?
Don't talk about jail around me, Cedric.
Mr. Lum Eddards, Justice of the Peace, Pine Ridge, Arkansas. Dear Mr. Eddards, in answer to your letter regarding the charge against you for burglary, I do not feel that this case should be tried in my circuit court.
Oh, my goodness. Must have heard about that Illinois business. Grannies, I'll bet they're aiming on taking it right straight to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. Here's some more, Lum. Furthermore, in view of the circumstances, I find no basis for a trial and advise that the case be dropped. Yours truly, Judge Parker. Oh, my goodness, grab him there, Cedric. I think he's having another one of his sinking spells.